We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
Imagine what would have happened if we hadn't attracted the magic we had back when we couldn't fathom life is a fantasy, not with the vanity, not the way it was back then. So I grab my pen and write it down like a scripture. Mr. Mystic, making hits for the misfits. The show where you don't know what you don't know when it's on again with Sean and Jonathan. Yeah.
Welcome to Metamystics, where you don't know what you don't know. My name's Jonathan.
I'm Sean.
And today is the Wonder Wednesday live show, and one of our very favorite guests that we've ever had the potential of even getting on this show, Santos Bonacci. How you doing, man?
Well, thanks. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, dude. We've been waiting in anticipation to have you on, man. Just someone like you that's really been, doing as much research as you have on a particular topic, man. You're the man. So looking forward to this conversation.
You are the man, yeah. And I tell you what, dude, there's I've been following your stuff for years now. I think my first ever time, I can't even say when my first ever time. I was just thinking that maybe it was your appearance on Tinfoil Hat, but it was probably long even before that. I've just always been so interested in all of the astrotheology that you teach, and find it very fascinating and such eye-opening kind of information. So yeah, just want to say thank you for doing all that deep research, man. And I love following you on the journey.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate that. I just do have to say that the viewers will probably be irritated at the fact that I'm going to be itching, scratching all over, because just a half an hour ago, the itch, which is what I call the itch, started, and it always does every time an important show comes along. That's why I don't take them anymore. That's why you guys have been trying for so long, and I've been saying no or postponing it, because especially at night, it's 9 o'clock here. That's when the itching really starts. So anyway, most of my viewers, they know about the itch. If you go to my channel, Mr. Astrotheology, and punch in the word the itch, you'll know what I've been going through for 20 years.
Just out of curiosity, have you ever done or do you even believe in like a past life regression? That's something that I do, and a lot of times people find, not necessarily cures to whatever ails them, but sometimes, just going into a past life, you can discover maybe the root cause of some kind of ailment. Have you ever looked into past life regression for that?
I've done them twice, and I thought they were both a joke. I mean, either the people were not good at it, or I didn't feel I was going into a past life. I felt like I was being led to, well, what's that ugly look? Oh, open that up properly. That's better. Okay. I just didn't buy into it. Somehow the woman led me to say that I was a Japanese samurai, and then I was a Neoplatonist philosopher many times and poisoned. There you go.
Oh,
You said she got you to say that.
so you felt
Well,
good.
well, she was asking the questions. I believe you're supposed to be in a meditative state of mind where you regress, where you go back. I couldn't get into that. I can't be hypnotized. I can't be persuaded. I'm not. It's impossible to hypnotize me, or it's impossible to do those things with me. I don't know why, but it works on other people, but it doesn't work on me. It just doesn't.
I wonder if it's a trust
I would
thing.
love, huh?
I wonder if it's a trust thing. Like,
Yeah,
do you have like trust
maybe.
issues with people that you're not familiar with?
Well, a lot of people believe that this itch is because of my control, my something controlling that I have that I haven't let go of. My masseuse used to say, when you let go of whatever it is you have to let go, the itching will leave you. And I don't know
Hmm.
what it is. I meditate. I try and think back if there was any trauma. I don't remember any trauma. I grew up happy. My parents had plenty of money, had a tobacco farm, properties. I always had whatever I wanted. I had plenty of friends. Had a great life. But some people insist that I had some trauma that I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. And I think that, because I'm somebody that I have my fair share of ticks from time to time that I wish that I had a little bit more control of, but I think it's probably a little bit more of uh, like a weird nervous habit. It's strange, and that's kind of what reminded me of what you were saying earlier. You were like you were fine up until like a half an hour before the show, and then maybe the nerves kick in, or just coming up in front of a screen does something to it. Interesting how that stuff works, though.
Yeah, look, I've never ever taken a show when the itching has just started. I've had to cancel thousands. I don't know how many. It's very disappointing.
Mm.
And but I'm going to do it this time. I don't care because the itching has stopped me from many, many projects and many, many things that I've wanted to do. And I'm learning now just to grit my teeth and grin and bear it. I just
Hey, dude,
and,
that's
and,
that's all
and
you can do.
yeah, it's gonna look ridiculous, but here we
Don't even
go.
worry about that, man. Don't even worry about that. I appreciate you, coming on anyways, even with everything going on, man. I really appreciate you, though, for sure.
Well, I apologize in advance to you guys and all
Nah,
the
don't even.
listeners.
That's not necessary.
Well, let's do a little something to maybe try and take your mind off of it a little bit. We've talked We've talked a little bit about astrotheology in the past. But I know that there's so much that goes into it. And to be honest, we have a hard time even wrapping our brain and our minds around astrology in general, and forget tying all of the ancient myths to them. So I do always find it very fascinating, but as far as I'm aware, you are the man to go to for these kinds of things. So just out of curiosity, what kind of brought you into this?
Um, I don't really know. I mean, it's my bent. I've been interested in literature and theology and the gods and the myths and disasters from the past and where did we come from and where are we going, and I've just been on that path really. Language, music, history, and theology. My parents baptized me as a Catholic in Victoria, Australia, when I was a little boy, and then I think around about the age of 3, we got a knock from the Jehovah's Witnesses and my mother converted, and then my father, and then a couple of other relatives. And I grew up as a little boy as a Jehovah's Witness. And then in the 70s, I was a teenager, born in 63. So I went to school with the disco high heel shoes and hippie. I left the Witnesses and did all the worldly things. I had muscle cars, big gollywog hairdo. As I said, I used to wear the big 6-inch disco shoes to school. I don't know how they allowed it. I was going to a college and everyone was wearing the high heel shoes, so you could wear your uniform, but you could also have your long hair and your high heel shoes. So I went through that stage, and anyway, all my teen years I was in the world, and by the time I got to 19, I realized that the world had nothing to offer me. The fast cars, the girls, and all of that stuff. And I did all that. I tried it, and I just, no, it's not for me. So I made up my mind in my heart to turn my ways back to God, and I went back to the Jehovah's Witnesses, which was, in a way, an annoying mistake. But the good thing about it was that I learnt the Bible inside out and backwards, and I just loved the Bible. I still do. And the good thing about it was that, unlike most Jehovah's Witnesses, I continued reading books that I wasn't supposed to, in secret. So since I left school at 14 and a half, I've had my nose in books. And that's it.
We've really been
That's
trying to dip our nose into a lot of books here lately too. Find that there's definitely a lot of knowledge out there, and I think that it's just overall better for your well-being to be nose in a book rather than nose in your phone scrolling on Facebook or any of these other things that are basically just mind-melting things. Nobody's really learning a whole lot. You might get a little curious about a thing and then you move on as if, nothing just happened. So, it doesn't require any patience. It doesn't require any work. And, it's very interesting about how the nature of the world. And so we're trying to bring all of that back. We're trying to bring back the excitement about diving into books and the excitement about the esotericism of the esoteric way of understanding the world. And, that's just what excites us. And yeah, to have you on here, man, that's like cream of the crop. So awesome. Love it. You definitely inspired us to look into a lot of this. So just want to say thank you for that. But yeah, so you started out, man, going Jehovah's Witness. Well, not started out. You started out Catholic, then you went to Jehovah, became of the world, wanted to turn away from the material world, went back to Jehovah's Witness, as I'm sure a lot of people do. That whenever they feel like they're on a journey, they're going to go back to the righteous spiritual journey that they're familiar with. And what was it about the Jehovah's Witness the second time that made you kind of start looking at it in a different kind of way?
Well, I love the fact that they were always reading the Bible, quoting the Bible, and I guess trying their best to interpret it and things like that. I was fascinated by that. I grew up bilingual. My parents were both Calabrian, from south of Italy. So my father, he never learnt English, so he would only speak Calabrian to me. So I grew up with English and Calabrian. So this is the interesting thing, right? So here's an Italian, second generation Italian, born in Australia, whereas all my other relatives went to Pittsburgh, California, Toronto, Virginia. I've got relatives all over the States, and I'm in Australia, and I'm thinking, gee, man, I would have much rather been in Memphis on the Mississippi, or New Orleans, or California, where all my cousins are. So I was kind of upset at that, but now in hindsight, I appreciate it, because being Italian, all my relatives were Catholic. I was a Jehovah's Witness. When I went to school in the 60s, we were still under the imperial, mile, inches, and yards, which I still use. I still talk in, 6 foot, whatever. And then we converted to metric in the early 70s, and our money, our currency was pounds, the pound. And then we flipped over, I think it was a year after that, we went to the American dollar. So I got the best of all the worlds, to eventually get syncretism, because none of my cousins who went to Catholic church knew the Bible. I knew it well as a young boy and all my life. So I got the Bible, right? I got 2 languages from birth. So an Italian Protestant, and with 2 languages. So that really helped, because languages is very, very important in astrotheology. The secret of understanding the world is words. That's it. It's words. Words create worlds, nothing else. Now, Pythagoras will say numbers, and the Kabbalistic Jews will say letters. God made the world with letters, but it's words.
Wow. Yeah. To be honest, I agree with that as well. You know, we've had a lot of shows with magicians and witches, and they'll tell you the same exact thing. You know, it's all about induction and evocation and all that stuff. Spell work is always through words, and you know, your words are aligned with your intentions, and they're interesting little vehicles for your intentions, you know. And so it does make sense that even the world, you know, it says that God created with his word, right? So
Word of God.
it would literally make sense that, you know, words shape our reality probably in far more ways than we can even imagine.
Yeah, words are atoms. All is atum. There are only atoms, but not the atoms that you learnt about at school. It's torus field atoms. Everything you see, everything that exists, every thought form, every wave, whether it's sound, light, thought, or emotions, it's all torus fields, which are atoms. That's why the Egyptians said all is atum. Now, we have a word called etymology, which is essentially atomology. So through that, we learn that there is only one language, the language of atoms. If all is atum, then all languages must be atum. If all is atum, then every human, the sun, the moon, the fireplace over there, my guitars, it's all atum, which means it's all atomic, electromagnetic. Everything is electromagnetic.
Does it tie into being the first as well? Whenever you say atom, like, are you kind of grouping in like the whole Adam and Eve kind of creation? Like Adam was the first one or first human created, or are we like just symbolically? Does atom kind of mean the first or the beginning?
Yeah. In gematria, ATUM is 1, 2, 3, 4 equals 10 equals 1.
Wow.
And Adam, ADAM, 1414 equals 10 equals 1.
Oh,
Eden, the Garden of Eden, Eden equals 1. Eden
Wow.
equals 1. DNA equals 1, which is an anagram of Dan, which is Adan in Spanish, Adam. So atum is Adam.
Wow.
See, Adam is 1, and Eve, even, is 2. The universe is made by numbers.
Holy
man.
shit, dude.
So many different ways to interpret all this kind of stuff. I just love it because you have to
Yeah.
group in numerology with it too. You have to group in gematria. You know, these are the people that essentially, you know, kind of they were the literate ones, the ones that were putting pen to pad and had the basic understanding, and which eventually came to teach the masses. You know, so there would have
Literally
to be
creating their own reality, dude. Like whatever reality they want you to know, because
And-
they had the ability to write.
And what we say, and Sean, I think, brings it up a lot too. It's that like a lot of people that are involved into just nothing against anybody who's religious or anything like that, but you can kind of see how each religion is somewhat of a spell. That religion is shaping their outer world, how they view the world. And it makes a lot of sense. I like what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, it's all spells. That doesn't mean that it's evil or good. Once you go beyond that, then you won't be like these TikTok 1 minute guys who will say, "Oh, English is the language of witchcraft. It's evil," and
Right.
I mean, these people make me laugh and fall off my seat, and then just delete them and unsubscribe and never watch them again. But
Right.
there will always be fools. So English is not an evil language. What is evil is legalese, which is a register of English, which is what we've all been taught at school. That's the evil of English. English as a language is both good and evil. But the register of English, called legalese, is what we get taught at school. We don't get taught English. We do not learn English at school. We get taught legalese. For instance, if I say, "Do you understand?" that doesn't mean "Do you comprehend?" In a judge's courtroom, because he's speaking legalese, there's no official language in America. Did you know that in America there is no official language? You don't have one.
I just assumed it was English, but I guess not.
No, it's the customary language of the USA. It's not the official language because it's never had one. In fact, 100 years ago, they were voting on it and it was going to be German because the US is 60% German.
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
What a different world that would have been.
Just look it up. Look up the ethnic. You'll see maps of this. The ethnic groups or concentration of ethnicity in the US of A, and you'll see it's 60% Germanic since time immemorial, or whenever. I don't know because I don't trust history, but
Me neither.
Same.
no, you can't trust history. But there are maps that will show you that the demographic of everything, especially all the north, all of it, from Oregon all the way to Pennsylvania, except for the deep south, which was all blacks. Yeah, all blacks. And then you'll see it. If you look for the maps, you will see it's a German country. And in fact, the official language was going to be German. But because they couldn't decide, they left it as just a customary language.
Oh wow! I'm just seeing one of our listeners, Electro Nick, shout out, posted this as of March 1st. So March 1st of last year. It says a presidential action of designating English as the official language of the United States. That's crazy that it even took that long. That's wild.
Yeah. I was going to add that I remember that just recently, just a couple of years ago, they did that because, well,
That's so
it's an interesting-
strange. I never knew that at all.
yeah.
Like I never even sat there to think about that and go,
Well,
what's
here's
our
another
actual
thing that
language?
most-
Like,
Most people don't know. The Inquisition never went away.
Right. Well, look,
If
you
you
were
go,
you were talking about languages and it kind of made me think here, and I want to get your opinion on this. So I've spoken to a lot of people who believe that you can't read something in English and have the same effect as if you were stating it in Latin or in Hebrew or in Greek or anything like that, pertaining to maybe even Psalms from the Bible or, old satanic incantations or anything like that. Do you believe that the language depends highly upon the effect of whatever you're trying to say whenever it's like magically involved, I guess?
yeah. Look, there's a whole mood, there's a whole attitude toward every language, you see. This is why Italian has its romance. This is why French has its prettiness. This is why German has its harshness. This is why Russian has its complexities and whatnot. So, but they're all one language. It's just that they're all dyslexic versions of atomology. That's our language. Our only one language that exists, and I've proven that with hundreds and hundreds of presentations in all languages, not just English, that they all go back to one language. And the root word of all words is Atum.
It all started from there. Wow.
Everything comes from Atum. See, tum is the sound of the ether turning into plasma, because everything's plasma. We don't see the ether, but the ether is white and black light, the white and black yin and yang. Mm-hmm. When black is dielectricity, white is magnetism, right? Black is rest, white is motion. When rest and motion start doing this, then white light expands and splits like through a prism, and it creates red shift, blue shift, the rainbow.
You just said like all the keywords of everything we've talked about over the last 2 months. It's crazy.
Yeah, so that's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Oh, can you explain that a little bit more?
Well, white light going into a prism, and outside the other end come the seven dwarves.
Oh my God.
The seven colors of the rainbow, your seven chakras: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red at the bottom.
Everything's esoteric. Everything is. I love it.
All the nursery rhymes, all the gospels, all the fairy tales, every single book, everything goes back to electromagnetic waves.
Everything's just a retelling, reshaped, but the same foundation.
Yeah, so let me finish off with the Inquisition. In 2022, they changed their name to the Dicastery of the Doctrine of the Faith. So as people don't know that just 2 years ago, or whatever, English was made the official language of the USA, so do the masses not know that the Inquisition has never gone away. Before that, it changed its name in 1965, before that in 1908, and before that, just go to Wikipedia, check it out. Put the word Inquisition in, and you'll see all about it. It's never gone away. We are under the Inquisition. That's what the lockdowns are all about. That's what the plagues are all about. That's what all these wars are all about. That's why the economy's it's the Inquisition.
Oh my God. So that's literally the reason why, our official language of the United States just got changed. So what does that mean that all of these things that you kind of just mentioned as far as inquisitory things aren't able to happen now that the language the official language of the United States has switched over to English?
No, it's not going to change much. It's not, because, see, when you go to court, you don't realize that you're not... No one ever says to the judge, what is the official language that you are speaking? Because once you ask that question, you can walk out of the courtroom.
Really?
Because they know they're not speaking English. They are masters, dark masters of the science of inverting English into legalese. Everything's legal. And everything, see, you call yourself a person, right? Well, person comes from parson, and a parson belongs to the Catholic Church. Right. All these Protestants in their 501c3 churches, Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, Baptists, they're all Catholic. Everyone in the world who has a birth certificate is Catholic. No use saying that you're a Protestant or you're a Buddhist. If you have a birth certificate, You are a person, a parson, which is a servant of the Vatican, and you're Catholic. You cannot escape this. Everyone is Catholic. It's a Catholic world.
Oh, it seems like a curse, doesn't it? You know, and
Yeah,
that's
it
that.
is.
It's pretty interesting too, because I've gone over a little bit of this as well in the past few years, as far as the terminology within Black's Law Dictionary. Is that kind of what you're referring to?
It's witchcraft. Black's law. Black. Why would it have to be black? Why can't they just have, and why do they have to revise it? Every year there's a different edition, right?
Man, it's
all
the
these
occult.
illusions that I thought I was bringing down, and I thought I started to really see things for what they were. And there's just another one that I'm like, oh, I'm a part of this thing that I had no idea I was a part of. Oh my god.
Well,
Yeah,
now
we're-
what
we're-
happens if you're born in the wild and you grow up like Tarzan and you're raised by, you know, monkeys and wolves and everything? Obviously, you're not going to have a birth certificate, so then you wouldn't be under the Catholic law then, right?
They can't touch you. Let's say, for instance, they go into a village and kidnap everyone. The first thing they'll do is get their papers. If they've got papers, then they belong to the Catholic Church and they can kill them, they can do whatever they want. If a child does not have papers, they have to leave that child. They can't take it because it's not their property. See, and another thing is all these people who read their King James version and everything, they've got this book that's got 66 books in it. That's Catholic. There's no Protestant Bible. It doesn't exist. There is no such thing as a Protestant Bible. That's a whole crock of shit. That book goes back to Constantine and his bishop Eusebius and all his other bishops at the Council of Nicaea 325 CE, where 2,300 Gospels and holy books were said to be not fit, but they chose 66. So you've got these Protestants, they go to church and they hate the Catholic Church and condemn it and tell them that they're going to hell, and yet they are Catholic because they hold a birth certificate, can't escape it. And they're reading a Catholic book. That is not a Protestant book. It's not a Christian book.
Well,
It is
it can't be because
Catholic canonized book. So they're all Catholics. Everyone's Catholic.
yeah, nobody's including the, you know, the Gnostic Gospels of anything inside of their Bible or anything like that. They're just sticking with what the original councils tried to do back in the 300s and narrowing it down and trying to make a vision of what it all actually means. And it's crazy, man. We've done a lot of deep dives into the Bible, especially going into like Paul, and a lot of that. I've heard people say that Paul never even actually existed, that was just like, I don't know, the church kind of building a guy. What are your thoughts on that?
None of them existed. There is no past. There is no past. There's no future. There's only the ever-present now. Everything you read about in the Bible, that's all archetypes of and all parts of you and your biology. Jesus is in you. Buddha is in you. Krishna is in you. If you go looking back in the past and find these guys, you will not find them. You won't find them in the future. You won't find them outside of you because nothing is outside of you. Nothing is outside of you. It's all in your mind. The thing is that your mind has been limited so much and indoctrinated so much that it's almost inconceivable that everything is the sun and the moon and the earth. It's all in you. It's all in your mind.
Oh
You're
my
speaking
God.
my language, dude.
Yeah.
I
So
love this.
it's no use arguing whether Jesus was black or he had blue eyes or whether he was a Jew or whatever. There's no argument. It's dead. History's dead. It's not a thing.
So with it
It's
being
just-
that if something is in the past, but the past doesn't exist, does that mean that it never happened? Like,
No,
according to the present moment, does that mean that it never happened, or is it just exist as a memory if all is mind?
no, it's happened, but it's happening or happened now.
Oh, let's go.
It's everything is in the now. It's very hard to do this. It's very hard to bring everything into the now. You know, and it's very, very hard to bring all things into one. We always say it, all things are one. All things come from the one source. We always say it, we're saying it, but we don't understand how to work all that out. But once you do, once you come to this conclusion and you understand that history, the future, gospels, gods and legends and everything and that, it's all in you. You are the universe. You are the universe. You are everything. Your power is unlimited. Unlimited.
Yeah, I
It's
couldn't
all
agree
it's
more.
all it's all in you, and people are still trying to choose the story that gives them fear. You know what I mean? It's like, good
And
God,
we'll
man.
always be killing each other because my Jesus is black, yours is white with blue
Uh-huh.
eyes, and Mary, his mother, was not a virgin and she was black or whatever. You know, there's people out there arguing. They've got channels devoted on Jesus was black and the white man came along and made him white and for a special reason to subdue the black people. That's all a crock of shit. Because the black Jesus represents the source Jesus, the resting light, because Christ means rest. That's what it means, to rest. So, and Mary, or Magdalene, magnetism, that means the opposite, to move. So it's not masculine energy that moves, it's feminine energy. Masculine energy goes to rest. It's feminine energy that makes movement.
Which makes sense. If you look at lions, the males are the lazy ones,
Yeah.
Like they're
I'm always
just
trying to rest, dude.
yeah.
It's my wife that's telling me, hey, you need to go and take care of that garage. You know what I mean? It's a little overdue.
Go for a jog once in a while,
Damn it.
Yeah, it's man, it's interesting how all that works out like that. We just been so obsessed with trying to get to the bottom of it, and just out of curiosity, and I don't know if this is too personal, but have you experienced any psychedelics that kind of led you to this?
Well, yeah, I've taken most of the psychedelics you can mention, but for sure, and I still do, but very
Nice.
moderately and occasionally. But my best friend is cannabis. I don't smoke it because I don't like smoking green stuff. This is just pure Mapacho Peruvian tobacco. So, and I do that for the nicotine.
Which is really
So,
good for you.
yeah. So I take drops, broad spectrum drops, and every time I do, the syncretisms just pour in. So for the last 20 years, with all the syncretism I've done, I primarily have to thank the entheogen called cannabis. That's my best friend.
I had never known that it was grouped in the entheogens, but it does make sense. I've had some experiences. You smoke a little bit too much, dude. Oh, you are going to another land,
Dude, we used to be good friends, me and cannabis, but we've grown apart just as of late. I feel like it just gives me too much damn anxiety anymore. Like, to be honest, it's like too much anymore. Like, something's in there. You know what I mean?
Strains. Don't touch strains. Here in Mexico, I I get the ancient cannabis, and it doesn't make you it doesn't make you paranoid or stressed. It makes you beautiful. It's
See, that's why it was illegal. The stuff they give us now, they're like, oh yeah, go ahead and smoke this. This is legal.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
I don't know what that
this,
is.
smoke this anxiety in a joint. You know,
No shit.
crazy.
I feel like I'm
Yeah.
sitting next to myself. Like it's too much.
And which one is me? I don't know.
I don't know anymore, dude. I need help.
Yeah, it's
But see, the other reason why it does that, I'm sure number one is strains. They've made these strains to cause depression, paranoia, anxiety, suicidal tendencies.
Oh man.
Strains of cannabis is probably the worst enemy of the ascension consciousness process to humanity. Never, ever, ever just smoke any weed. Ever.
Makes sense, dude.
Ever.
Makes sense. I thought I was just getting super weak or something. I'm like, I used to just do this all day long. And now all of a sudden I'm just like thinking about the worst shit. And like, I'm not used to this.
Well, the second thing is that cannabis, like mushrooms, I do mushrooms as well, DMT. Every now and then a little bit of LSD. I know it's synthetic and it's not natural, but it's very, very special. For me, it's very special because it's a really, really good teacher. And other things. But what cannabis will do, so first of all, what's causing paranoia and all these troubles is the strains. But if that should happen when you take pure cannabis, well, then that's good. You have to work through it. That's your shadow work. It helps you do your shadow work. If you're getting good cannabis and you're taking it and you're getting paranoid and stressed and it's doing all this shit to you, ride it.
Right.
Ride that storm. Because at the end, you'll get a reward. The reward I got from cannabis is syncretism. And I play the guitar 10 times better than when I'm straight.
I bet, dude. I used to feel like I could draw way better.
I used to be a busker, right? Street performer. Now, and I used to sell my CDs. So if I would play straight, I'd probably sell 10% of when I was stoned. So if I'm having a half-hour set and I'm not selling, I'd go to my car, smoke some weed, some good weed, come back, the passion comes out, and I sell 100 CDs, go home with $1,000.
It puts you back in the flow, it feels like. Yeah, I remember I don't know. I mean, I didn't start smoking until I was probably 17 regularly. And that was 2007. And even that weed back then was like, you had to pay so much extra for the more potent stuff. I always wanted the less potent stuff. I always called it Mexican dirt weed because I was like, dude, I don't care where you get it. I want it to be brown. I want there to be stems. I want seeds. I don't care if it pops on my face. I don't even care. That's because anything stronger than that, it gets me paranoid. It gets me sleepy, hungry. I don't want to do anything. Into couch, it don't matter. Indica, sativa, I'm into couch either way. So yeah, it's unfortunate what they've done to that. And I think that, a lot of the dispensaries, they probably think that like, oh yeah, well the people love these higher strands and everything. But man, it's so hard to find any of just the regular weed anymore. It's damn near impossible.
I think you'll struggle in the US. You've got to get someone from Mexico to send you some. But I remember in the 70s, whenever we smoked weed, we would just laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. And then that all stopped in the 80s and 90s. Then anxiety and people thought, oh, yeah, that's because marijuana does that. No.
Never
in
used
the
to.
70s, when it was pure, it would make you laugh and happy and it was beautiful. It was just so blissful in the 70s. I remember it's so, and now the stuff that I'm getting in Mexico also makes me laugh and happy and blissful.
Well, I'm going to have to come smoke with you sometime, man, because I miss those days.
Oh, I won't be smoking. I've never smoked weed.
Oh,
I don't like smoking anything that's green. It's got to be brown. It's got to be. I grew up on a tobacco farm, so I love the smell of tobacco. I've always been a tobacco person. See, what I do, I'll only smoke 1 or 2 of these a day. I don't just sit there and smoke. There's no way I'm going to do that to my lungs. But and then when I don't feel like smoking, I just chew it. The best thing you can do, guys, is get yourself some pure Mapacho Peruvian tobacco and grab a leaf in the morning and just sit it under your tongue for a half an hour. You'll never get a flu. I haven't had a flu for 6 years. I don't get colds.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything at all. At all. In fact, today my chiropractor said that my joints and my ligaments are of an adolescent. She said,
Damn.
I'm 63. I'll be 63 in a couple of months. Right? So she said to me, she said, I can't believe, I've never seen a person like you that moves so nimbly on my table, turn around and I'm, and your joints, right? No arthritis, none of that, no diabetes, no headaches. I've only had one headache all my life. Yes, I've got this itch, but I can probably explain that away. When I was a teenager, I went to the river for a swim. It's just a half a mile from my house. And on the way back, the dust cropper had already sprayed DDT over the tobacco. And it was dark. I had to get home. So I walked through it. By the time I got home, my body was full of white and red welts. Yeah, all over my body, lumps, all over my body. And I was poisoned by DDT. And then later on, I met naturopaths who said, you've got lead poisoning.
Really?
So it could be that. I'm doing lots of protocols to get rid of it.
Are
I
there
won't mention.
Are there any of your organs that are affected with that as well?
What it does is it takes my breath away, makes me breathless, makes my heart palpitate, and it makes my gut feel like I've just eaten a pound of glass, shards of glass.
Jeez.
So those are the 3 things: lungs, heart, and gut that it affects.
My God. And you've tried a lot of different things trying to, figure it out and get rid of it and all these things. Not to get too weird here. Have you ever heard of the Gerson method?
The Gerson
method. It's basically, it's a organic green coffee enema. And it's not just to like make you shit. It's for like cleansing your liver and getting rid of all the heavy metals and the toxins and everything out of there too. I've been doing it here for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months now, and I feel great. Not only in the gut, but like my mind is a lot clearer as well with it. Just by getting rid of a lot of the heavy metals.
I do coffee enema every day.
Really? Day. Okay. Hey. All right.
Every day, first thing in the morning. Reason being is it opens all the sphincters in your GI tract, from the stomach to the descending colon. All the sphincters that are shut like that, your anus is a sphincter, right?
Right.
So when you pass wind, that sphincter opens. When you pass solids, it opens. So when you put coffee in your backside, you just need a little bit, just need 200 milliliters. What it does, you lie on your left side because you don't want it to go to the transverse and to the ascending column. You want it to stay in the left, so you lie on your left, so it stays at the very, very, very bottom, because there is where the receptors or whatever it is, they send the signal to all the sphincters to just open up, and all the bile and all the shit and all the poisons, all of them come out in your feces. So there's a lot of things I do that keep me alive, but the itch just doesn't go away. It just won't go away. It'll leave me for 3 months. Sometimes I won't have itch for 6 months. But it'll just turn up one night, and then it'll torture me for a month, and then it'll go away, and then it comes back. And this is one of the reasons why I don't take these shows on, because I don't know. It's sometimes the anxiety. I do get nervous when I do shows. I'm not immune to. I mean, I've done a lot of public speaking and performing with my music and everything like that, but I still get nervous.
Oh yeah, I don't think that ever goes away. I think the
I
people
don't think so.
that say that it goes away are just bullshitting themselves. To be honest with you, because I've done, I don't know, probably 1,400 shows in my life so far, and yeah, I still get a little butterflies in the stomach every time, especially when talking to somebody like you. Like you're somebody, dude. You are a legend to me. I've learned so much from you, and always been so fascinated by your work and. I love it, and especially all the astrotheology stuff. But I did want to ask you, so if I'm not mistaken, you're also are you also a vegetarian as well?
Vegan, yeah.
Vegan, and have you found that that has worked well for your body and your health?
Well, I started about 18 years ago, 2007, when I stopped eating meat, and I was just a pescatarian because I never liked red meat anyway. It was just too heavy for me, and I just didn't like it. I was never an egg person or a cheese or a milk. At school, at primary school, they used to give you a quart of milk
Yeah.
every morning. So I'd go around the corner, spill it out, come back, and and the teacher would be fooled because it just milk stinks like shit. Period. So it was easy for me to lose it because I didn't like it anyway. But the thing that happened was it got rid of my chronic fatigue straight away. As soon as I became a vegan, I had energy.
Yeah.
I got a lot of energy. I might be itching, and it's torturing me, but I can still go out and jog and run and build and do everything. You know, I just have and in fact, my beautiful chiropractor, God bless her, she is amazing, amazing. Yeah, she said, the energy I sense from you, I've never felt from any other human being. She said, you are, there's something magic about your energy. And I'm just like, okay, what do you mean? I'll try to, she explained how she sensed my energy. And I know that anyway, because all my grandparents and all my uncles and everyone has always said, you know, slow down, you're just like a ball of fire. And you're just all about energy, you know, what's with you. Yeah.
Well, you take care of yourself, you know, and you have a drive and you have that fire and the passion to keep on understanding the nature of your reality. And the cool thing about it is that we're never going to know everything, so we can literally study and learn about all this stuff until the day we die, you know. And that's what I love about it. It's a never-ending rabbit hole. And so I imagine even, you know, somebody like yourself who's been in this kind of work and this kind of, you know, teaching and schooling and stuff like that, like you probably are still learning something new just about every day, right? Kind of shaping your own nature of your own reality.
Brother, sometimes I don't even have the confidence to get on a show and talk about syncretism because I know that I know nothing.
There you go. Words of a wise man.
Yes, it
For
is.
sure.
Well, I know, even though I know this and I know that, I can play the guitar, I can speak certain languages and what have you, but to know is a big thing. To know, put it this way, I know nothing, but I can know everything, just like you and I, like you and all the listeners. We can know everything, and we do know everything, but it's in another field, which we mostly cannot we can't enter into that field because of all the damage that the system has done to us. But that's changing. The sun is changing its frequency. The Christ has returned. The Christ is the sun. And that's why they're trying to block it so much, because what will happen is people will see that the sun is actually just a ball of consciousness. It is the conscious seat of the universe.
Literally, physically.
Literally and physically, yes.
Wow. It makes a lot of sense. You know, there used to be a lot of people worshiping the sun.
Yeah.
Probably still a lot.
Well, yeah, because it's obvious. It's a no-brainer. Whether you're spastic or you're a super intelligent individual, you can't deny that life comes from the sun.
And you know what? I've done the sun gazing, you know, in the morning and in the evenings and everything. And I swear, like, you stare at that bad boy for 30, 40, 50 seconds, it starts looking like a damn portal that Doctor Strange is opening up. Like, there is something absolutely mystical about it. And it almost looks like it's blinking like shades of gray or shades of black or something too. Have you done a fair amount of sun gazing in your day as well?
Every day.
Yes.
The trick is to be able to see all the colors of the rainbow in the sun, especially violet. When you tune your eyes to get the violet only from the sun, that's a different experience altogether.
It's a whole new level.
Well, how do you? What's the technique for that? What's the secret sauce on that?
Well, I can look at the sun at any time of the day. It doesn't matter how hot it is, and it doesn't matter where it is. But if you're going to start doing it, make sure it's very, very low on the horizon. So the first half hour of rising, do 10 seconds, walk away. Next day, 20 seconds. Next day, 30. Build up, build up, build up, and never, ever, ever stare at the sun higher than, say, 30 degrees off the horizon, whether it's rising or setting. Then, once you get advanced, you can just look at it whenever you want.
Yeah. And so the goal is to be able to see all the colors of the rainbow. So I guess that would make the sun the prism, or?
Yeah. How you do that is you change the shape of your eyeball. You call it squinting. But you're looking at the sun, right? And you just sort of do this or whatever it does, whatever your eye needs to do, but change it, turn it around, do something with it, and the eyes will adjust to get the color you want.
Okay. Kind of like a Wayne's World kind of situation. Camera one, camera two, camera one, camera two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try messing around with that, because I used to do that quite a lot, actually, and I was doing it every day, and I got to where I was able to do it for minutes at a time. And the profound effect of calm and energy at the same time that I was given, that was the effect that it had on me anyway. I mean, I don't know how much of that is just I don't know what it is, because it feels mental, but it also feels physical at the same time.
Yeah, physically, I get out in the sun every day, in the morning, naked, and just meditate in silence, listen to the birds and the squirrels, and always bathe my body in the sun. I never wear shoes. I never, ever wear shoes. In fact, the other day I was out there with the horses. There's a equine therapy thing just 5-minute walk from my house. And I do a lot of work with them. Anyway, I was walking in the barefoot, and there's all these handicapped people that I was one of the guys that were training the horses and leading the horses and leading the deaf, blind, and whatever people that were on the horses, because it's equine therapy. And one of the girls who was doing the same work, a young girl, she says, Don't your feet burn on the sand? It's roasting hot. And I said, no, I never thought of it. My feet never get burned, no matter how hot it is. And then later, the guys were laughing, and they were saying, wow, man, you must cook your foot. Isn't it hot? And I said, no, it's hotter with shoes. If I had shoes on, then I'd get hot feet.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this football player that plays for the Patriots. His name is Mac Hollins, and he's always known for walking around barefoot everywhere. And everybody always asks him, like, why are you always barefoot? Like, he walks, he runs, he practices barefoot and everything. And he goes, I'm not wearing those foot prisons. Because that's kind of what it feels like whenever you have them on, you know? And then,
Like
of
wearing a
course, it
mask.
takes away the natural grounding as well.
Yeah, you have to be grounded. You just have to. It's whether you believe it or not, or whether you practice it or not. Um, it's your decision. You know, you don't have to, but I do it every day religiously, and I just don't have shoes. If I go into town, I'll wear some flip flops or something like that. But apart from that, everywhere stones, whatever, I just walk. I don't look at what I'm walking on. I just walk on it because
Hey,
my
dude,
feet are very, very hard. They're like horses' hooves.
got to get like
Put
that.
put calluses on.
I don't know if you can see the calluses. Let's see how dirty. Oh no, they're not even dirty. But you could, yeah, there you go. Look at that. See those calluses?
Oh, yeah.
He's got shoes built in.
Yeah.
Yabba
Maybe
dabba
my
doo.
left foot. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Heat ain't
those feet are
affecting
my
those bad
shoes.
boys. Man, I need to get like that too, because grounding is, man, I feel like it's such a slept on thing, you know, because people will even take the electrical gauges or whatever to measure the electricity and to measure grounding and whatnot, and you can do it just with bed sheets. I actually have this grounding mat on my desk, and it helps a little bit, I guess, but yeah, that grounding, super important. I know that we don't have very much time with you, and you're welcome to stay as long as you want, of course. But I do kind of want to ask you, just if this is one of my last questions to you, is there anything that you would like to, or that you could kind of bestow wisely to anybody that is on this path of understanding oneself and understanding the nature of this reality? Is there kind of one building block or one thing that really helped you along your way?
Yeah, dump and unlearn everything you've been taught by fools. And that's everyone. Teachers, government, politicians, doctors, people with authority. I left school at 14 and a half. Why? Because the teachers were way more stupid than me. I was stupid, yeah, because I did stupid shit, but they were even more stupid. So why would I just sit there and listen to them? So I got caught smoking for the third time. I did it deliberately, because I knew that was the rule if you get caught. So I got called up to the vice president's office, and he gave me two choices: either you get expelled or you walk out. And I just went, I mean, I didn't show him how happy I was and overjoyed in my heart, but I just was like, I can just leave this concentration camp, education camp, indoctrination camp, whatever.
Yep.
And just at 14 and a half, because in Australia, the law was that you had to reach 15 before you could leave school. So I was lucky. I got out 6 months before my jail sentence,
Well,
was
I think that that's
matured.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Unlearning is probably one of the hardest things that most of us have to do. Whether you were indoctrinated via a religion or a school system or a government, and all of us were in some form or fashion. And if you weren't, a lot of people around you absolutely were. And it takes a lot to unlearn and break down. And it's something that has, luckily, Sean and I, we didn't grow up in any religion. We didn't grow up in a church or anything. So it's a little bit easier, I think, to swallow some of these concepts without feeling a certain guilt. But that's, man, some of the rage that comes out by some people. You start talking about this kind of stuff, and you're literally Satan, you're literally demonic, and you're playing with dark forces, and you just don't know. Unfortunately, poor you just don't know.
You don't understand yet.
We've kind of just gone beyond, look, if that's what your thought processes are about me, then yeah, I am demonic. Yeah, I am satanic. Yeah, I'll allow you to think whatever you want about me. That's kind of the route we've taken.
That's definitely the understanding that we've come to, is everything is kind of a story. Like I feel like I just had like an epiphany like a week ago that everything is really just a story, and a lot of what you do is really trying to understand the putting together rather the story of the sky, and understanding that all of these other stories are just retellings of that, and like you think of history and it's like those are just stories that other people are telling you what happened, and so as far as like what I've come to understand is everything is just a story. But I wanted to ask you a question as far as like, because I'm, Jonathan and I are always contemplating and really trying to understand things. Is there something recently that you've kind of been thinking about a lot and doing a lot of contemplation on that is becoming more clear to you?
Yeah, I'm realizing more how much power I have to manifest
Hmm.
things and to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Rest assured, all of this shit that's going on around the world, it's all just stories.
Hmm.
It's all just theater. Just stay within yourself, stay true, be authentic,
Hmm.
know yourself, get to know yourself, love yourself, enjoy your own company. I love solitude. I love
Hmm.
solitude. I don't have any need for anything. Anything. There's nothing that I need and I want in this world at all. At all. I've never been in love, for instance. Yeah, I've been married and everything, but I've never been in love, right? So, and I don't care for it. I don't need it because I didn't get it when I was younger, and why do I want it now? I don't, I mean, I love looking at Ferraris, but I don't want one. You know, I love looking at people's beautiful mansions and everything like that, but I don't want one. I don't
Right.
want one. I want a
Yeah.
shack. I want a wooden shack and a guitar to play, and I'm happy.
That's the way to
Dude,
go right there.
that's a good place to be, when
Yeah.
you don't need anything, when you have everything you need. Like, it,
Detached.
some people have so much and they're still not happy. You know what I mean? And so that's a great place to be. So everything else beyond that is just a bonus. That's one thing that I've really come to understand. It's like, man, when you're in that space that you just spoke of, man, everything else is just extra. And it's like a little added bonus or surprise. It's like, man, it's a good place to be.
Yeah, uh, there's when you close your eyes and meditate and you're in the zone. There's nothing else out there happening. There's
Right.
nothing.
You're not absent of anything. You're whole.
You don't have to worry about Iran or Israel or
Mhm.
Lebanon or Greenland or
Yeah.
freaking the next plague where it's going to be Ebola or
Mhm.
COVID or Zebola or Zingola or whatever. All these freaking names they put on everything. You don't have to worry about any of that. I've pretty much avoided all of that stuff. Everything. I've avoided all the things that people complain about. It's not my world
Right.
because I
Oh,
don't look at it.
dude. That's
Yeah.
great, man. So many people feel like they have to participate or else, you know what I mean? They have to inject themselves into everything wrong in the world. And it's like no wonder so many people have anxiety or depression. You're absorbing everybody's problems. You don't have to.
Yeah, are good people, but they also have their own problems, and that's what they're trying to fix outside of them is what they haven't fixed inside of them yet.
No shit.
That's all it is. They'll
Yeah.
work it out. We'll all work it out. And
Mhm.
and the question you said before, asked me before about what are you working on? What's the big thing? Is that realization?
Mhm.
Is that all the clowns, the ugly people, the beautiful people, the fat people, the skinny people, they're all just parts of you, and
Mhm.
there's no need to attack them, and there's no need to worship them or adore them. Just love yourself. Love
Mhm.
yourself first, but do it really,
Mhm.
really do
Yep.
it.
Absolutely, dude.
Mm,
That's great.
Man, all the greats say the same thing. Well, at
Mhm.
least all of our favorite greats anyway. It's all one, and everything is you. And
Mhm.
it for the longest time, it seemed like a cool belief, but whenever you really start steeping your world and all of your understanding and your entire perception into that, I say fact. I believe it to be a fact. Man, the world starts to change, and you start to look at a lot of the myths and a lot of the religious stories in a very, very different way. And a lot of those teachers you start to understand to a deeper level than maybe you ever thought before too.
Yeah, all the greats, Rumi, Shakespeare, whatever, you wrote that. It's all in your field. No one owns any thoughts. None of your thoughts are original. It's all from the one mind of God, which is you and which comes from you. The kingdom of God is within. If the kingdom of God is within, well, then it's not without.
Right.
Yes, definitely agree. And you brought up Rumi. Rumi has one of my favorite quotes of all time where he said, "I tried to find God and all I found was myself. I tried to find myself and all I found was God." And I'm like, oh my, yeah, that is just perfect. And it seems so
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah, so the Christians have been trained to think that people who say that they are God or that they acknowledge their godship are demonized, and you can't do that because only God is God. And it's inconceivably insane that they would just empty themselves of everything divine and glorious and reduce themselves to a worm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just because in the Psalms King David said, "For I am but a worm."
They just took it
Well,
and
that's
ran with
poetry.
it.
It's not literal. It's
Right.
poetry. It's
Yeah.
like when I said before, "I know nothing." Well,
Mhm.
that's not true because I know English.
Mhm.
I'm talking to you in English. So I do know something. But it's poetry. It's being real. That I don't know everything. I can know everything if I tap into the field like anyone. I'm not special. And yet I am special. We're all special, but you know what I mean. So
Absolutely.
they take it literally that we are worms and that we're sinners and we have shame and guilt, and unless we do so much service and pay penance and donate money to the church and give our support to the Northern Baptists because the Southern Baptists are going to hell, or the Jehovah's Witnesses because not the Mormons, they're going to hell. So you've got 30,000 Christian denominations. They're all registered with the register, the king, with a 501c3 registration, which means that they're not doing God's work, they're doing the government's work.
We're all
Simple.
Catholic.
Unreal.
Everyone is Catholic. No one, there's no Protestant. And if there's anyone that's a Protestant out there and that's reading the Bible and they think that it's a Protestant Bible, talk to me for 10 minutes. I'll convince you otherwise. Everyone is Catholic who has a birth certificate, which makes them a person, which is a parson, a servant of the truth, of the Catholic Church. And if you have a zip code, that zip code is your office, which is your home office. And what's an office? It's an ecclesiastical institution. You know, when you say, "Oh, I've got my little office over there," well, you're just talking Catholic. That's a Catholic word. An office, it's not secular. You can't have a secular office.
Wow.
Offices must be registered for tax purposes, which means you are working for the Catholic Church and the Inquisition. If you have a zip code on your license, on your birth certificate, wherever it is, that zip code is your office and you're a person. Office and person are ecclesiastical words.
All the more reason not to be of this world, you know? That's just the way I
that's
kind of
right.
think about it.
And that's not to say don't read the Bible. I would recommend reading the Bible like as much as possible. It's just such a great book. It's just read it properly and don't let anyone tell you how to interpret it because they'll just destroy everything.
Right.
And look at them. Look at the people who who have a look at some of these preachers who bring thousands of people into their churches, and they're all
Mega
acting like
churches.
they're hypnotized and Jesus is in their midst and they're healing and all of that. These people are nothing but pure hypocritical demons in human flesh. The things they do in secret, not even the perverts who admit that they do what they do. These Christians, so-called Christians, the things that they practice in private, you would be disgusted. It's all a facade.
Oh,
They're
yeah, well,
all a facade.
look, if you think that God is outside of you and that you are nothing but a sinner and a crusty old sock that was tossed under your bed, like if that's what you believe about yourself, then you're probably going to, emulate that. Like if you think that that's what you are, and therefore every time you do something that is deemed a sin or wrong or bad in your eyes, well, that's just what you are. Of course I'm going to do that. That's what I am. And I hear this all the time that, hey, nobody's perfect. There was only ever one that was perfect. And it's like, man, just with that way of thinking, of course. I mean, look, I don't think that anybody's necessarily looking for perfection, but if you have a belief, I think that the best way to be able to really embody that belief is by, doing what your belief says to do, kind of thing. And I just, every time I talk to somebody who is religious, not every time, I'm sure there's a lot of good people all over the world, but a lot of bad people as well. And every time I hear these kinds of things, I'm just taken back by the idea that God is removed. I'm like, you lost me. You lost me right there. You say that God is everything, but not you. Interesting.
That's where God stops.
Yeah. Well, they don't even read their own scriptures. Jesus quoted the Psalm where it says, "Did I not say that ye are all gods?"
Yep.
You're all Jesus is quoting the Psalms which say that you are all gods. And he said it himself. And why would Jesus be talking to his disciples and say, "Don't you call anyone on this earth your teacher, for only one is your teacher, the Christ"? Wait a minute. If he's the Christ and Jesus, why wouldn't he say, "Me"?
Right.
Only one is your teacher. Me, the guy you're looking at, right here. See this nose? Me. No, he spoke of the Christ in the third person. It's right there in the Bible. Don't call anyone on this earth your father or your teacher, for only one is your teacher, the Christ. The Christ.
Which, and some people will say, well, the Christ is the anointing oil. The anointing oil is within everybody. It starts at the base of your spine and you have to work it up. And that way is it enlightenment whenever that Christos works itself all the way up?
Yeah. See, this is what this is what the churches are doing. They're making automatons, not autonomous people. The idea is to be self-determined. That's what all of Jesus' teachings in all of the Gospels, the extra canonical ones as well, even in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, he teaches you to be a king and a priest. And you'll rule with Christ for 1,000 years as a king and a priest. What does that mean? Well, that you be your own priest. That you ascend yourself. You do the work. You save your ass. You have to wipe your own bum, right? You don't get someone, "Hey, Mom, I'm 46, but I got a dirty ass. I'm sitting on the toilet. Can you come and wipe my bum?" You got to do all that shit yourself. Everything you have to do yourself, right? So they're making people docile with this teaching that you're just a worm and God is different to you and you're very dissimilar and Christ is the only perfect example and you will never ever emulate him and you'll never do good things. Well, it's just stupidity.
And did Jesus ever say that? Actually, Jesus said that you'll do all these things and then some.
and more, exactly. And you will prevail. Take courage. You will conquer the world. I have conquered the world. And what does that mean? To be in the world, but not part of it. See, I'm in the world. I'm stuck here. I've got a body. I'm in the world, right?
Stuck
But I'm
here.
not a part of it. I'm not a part of anything. I haven't joined any clubs. I joined the Jehovah's Witness. So I was fooled, and I did join a club. Even though I left school and I've always been a rebel. But the only reason for that was because I wanted to serve God. I wanted to be a servant of divinity. I didn't want to be a mundane, average individual, 9 to 5. I've never had a boss. I've never had a job, and I've never paid taxes.
Fuck yeah.
Ever.
That's the way right there.
And I don't intend to start doing it. I never will. I will never have a job. See, why do the scriptures say trust in God? He will give you everything. And yet you go to a business and you knock on the door to a man who eats and poos and wipes his ass and dies of a heart attack when he's 51, and you beg him for a 9 to 5 where you can make $7.50 an hour. That's not trusting in God. I've trusted in God. I've lived the path that I everything that I teach, I've lived it. It's authentic. I haven't constructed any of this and made it look like a social media thing, but in the background, I've joined a club and and I do this and that I shouldn't be doing. No, I walk my talk, and so I've been self-employed. I've had my own businesses and a musician and what have you. And why should I tell the government that I made $100,000 last year and you can have a part of it? No, I ain't doing that. It's voluntary.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do want their part too. They'll let you know.
They're not going to get a cent of my money to continue genocides and stealing and keeping our wages, people's wages down, whilst rent and insurance and everything goes up. They're not going to get a cent of mine. They never will.
No way. Especially not whenever they've failed like their 7th audit in a row, which is crazy.
They always want their money, but for some reason they're just terrible at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, God, the priests tell you that God needs money, the governments need money, they all need your money because that's your energy.
Yeah.
That's how they've tokenized your energy, right?
Yep.
So you give this little bit of paper to someone and you get something back. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but the interest that's on it and all the other attachments is what makes it bad. But there's nothing wrong with using a bit of paper to exchange value at all. But it's not just a bit of paper. There's much more attached to it.
Currency.
Mm-hmm. Currency, energy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and so we just shouldn't buy into it. Just be yourself. Be your true self. If people get offended, let them get offended. You'll teach them a lesson because it's their ego that's being offended. It's not their higher self.
Yep.
Which is interesting because they say that, authenticity is the highest vibration that there is. Above love, above even enlightenment, I believe. I'm not sure. It's something crazy like that, though. Authenticity is the highest vibration that you can be in. And I can see that in you, for sure. I've been following you for many years now, and I can tell that you are who you say you are, and you practice what you preach, and, you're just always going to be somebody we look up to. So, man, such a blessing to have you here and to be able to talk to you. I've heard you so many damn times, dude, and just what a fucking wild matrix this turned out to be,
Almost feels unreal. You know what I mean?
It does a little bit, but I love it.
Yeah, look, when I was young, I always aspired to what now I call syncretism and the knowledge that I have. I've always aspired to it. I was always dissatisfied with the Jehovah's Witnesses' interpretation of the scriptures and anyone else and every book that I've ever ever read, there's always something that sort of doesn't sit with me and what have you. And then what happens is, if you just pay attention, just observe, you don't believe anything, then you will sit with what is true, because the truth, it stands on its own. Lies need many other lies to support that lie.
Yeah. They take up
Truth,
a lot more energy.
your truth doesn't need anything, doesn't need any support at all. Not facts, not evidence, nothing. It speaks for itself, and it is itself. The lie is the thing that keeps people distracted from knowing the truth. And what happens is they construct other lies and stories to reconfirm that with their herd, whoever it is, whether it's their church or whatever. So they talk to each other to confirm their bias and their prejudice and their preconceived lies, and they call it the truth. So when I was a Jehovah's Witness, I would say that I was in the truth. Well, that's true. I was. That is a condition. You see, if I talk about the air, that's air. That means universal air. But if I say the air in this room is stuffy, that's different from air. That's the air. Now I'm pointing to a certain conditioned air. It's not air anymore. It's the air. The definite article is one of the best magical spells in all languages, which changes the truth of the meaning. That's why Aboriginals in Australia, for instance, they don't say, I'm eating. They will say, eating is happening. Like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm eating a sandwich. No, they will say, eating is occurring. Right? Because no articles. In fact, there are 9 parts to languages, and articles are one of them. You've got verbs, nouns, pronouns, adverbs, adjectives, prepositions, interjections, and articles, right? Now, some languages don't have articles for the very reason to not condition the word.
I wonder if if it's also like not associating your body as yourself. Is there a little bit of that in there potentially? Like instead, like if you say I'm eating a sandwich, then you're assuming that you are the body and that's all you are. I'm just getting weird. I don't know.
Yeah. For unawakened people, yeah, totally.
Nick, go ahead, sir. You got your hand raised.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people or talk about how almost a lot of the native cultures have that kind of no definite article type deal. I think I heard someone talking about like the Native Americans. They were describing how they don't have a word for like a wave on the water. It's because whenever you make it a definite article, it essentially brings it out of the now and makes it like they're just the way that you describe a wave is like that it is waving, which is like in the current moment. And I think a lot of the why they speak that way is their language keeps their thought process so differently because it keeps them more in the now, I think.
Present moment.
Yeah.
As opposed to something that did happen. This is the thing
exactly.
That's
it's happening. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm not one of these persons that believes that we shouldn't be using certain words like understand, right? So there's a lot of people who say understand and overstand.
Yeah.
Well, that's just bullshit. That just shows that they're still just woke and they're nowhere near awakened. There's nothing wrong with using the definite article. And there's nothing wrong with the English language. It's just that as long as you are aware that you're doing that, and you don't have to change anything. Nothing has to be changed. Nothing. Like people insist that we have to change the calendar because it's a man-made thing, the Gregorian calendar, and it's wrong. It's not wrong because it's piggybacking on the ecliptic, and the ecliptic is nature's cycle. Spring always turns up in March. Summer always turns up in June. The fall always in September, and now we're in the winter in Capricorn in January, and that never changes. So it doesn't matter whether it's the Gregorian calendar or the Julian calendar or the Anno Domini calendar or the Chinese calendar. It doesn't matter what men put on the ecliptic at all. That's why astrologers are always at an advantage to people who don't know the science of the Word of God, which is astrology. They are at a disadvantage because they're wearing watches. I don't know why people wear watches. I mean, it's just and Rolex ones. It's like, look at me. I've got a gold watch. I'm a real slave of time.
And I paid 10 grand to look at the time. You know, it's like, why?
And you got these guys like, for an example, Floyd Mayweather, Money Mayweather, right? He's got this whole thing of Rolex watches. But you could have saved thousands and thousands of homeless people with one of those watches and put them in a small home. Bought them an RV or something like that.
Right.
But those watches, you can't wear them every day and enjoy them every day. They're just sitting there.
Not all of them.
Right? It's utter. It just shows their immaturity and their stupidity. Sure, they've got talents. You could fight well and everything and everything, but that means nothing in the scheme of things. In the scheme of things, it's not what you have; it's who you are, what you are.
Speaking of astrology, I kind of want to get your thoughts on this. Do you apply your astrological understandings to the tropical or the sidereal, and do you think that one is more efficient and more correct than the other?
The tropical system is the true system. Sidereal. See, people think that the constellations are the signs of the zodiac. No, they are not. The signs are not the constellations. The signs are on the ecliptic, and they are 30 degrees each along every wave is 360 degrees, and every wave is divided into 12. Everything in the universe is a 12ness, everything. Sidereal astrology, because of a slight shift in the positions of the stars, they believe that it's the stars that are influencing that month. It's not the stars.
With the precession of the equinox,
It's
that's
the
their talking
ecliptic.
point. Yeah.
Everything is on the ecliptic. The people who, that's why the Bible says, you who worship the stars, you are fools. You who go by the stars. You don't go by the stars, you go by the ecliptic. That's why in Job 38:32, God says to Job, do you know the Mazzaroth? He wasn't talking about the constellations at all. He was talking about the ecliptic.
Oh, I never heard it put that way. That makes a lot more sense.
So the signs are not the constellations. They are totally two different things. So the siderealists are following the constellations, and they're being totally misled. Tropical astrology, which is constant and never changing, is the only true system, period.
Wow.
All right. I'm good with that, because we've been kind of like, this has been kind of a thing. We don't know which one is what. And, we heard the sidereal, like you said, is kind of like more of as of how everything is right now. And so we were like, well, that would have to be the more accurate one. That's kind of the thing that we would think. But just hearing what you said, we're going with that.
We're back on the tropical
We're locked
team.
in. Yeah, we're back in.
All right, I'm a
Yeah,
Taurus.
well-
I'm a Taurus again. We're good.
Right.
Yeah. Well, don't take it from me. Take it from all the great ancient astrologers, not the New Age ones. Nothing in the last 100 years or so. Forget about them. they're all lost. The books that I've read: Marcus Manilius, Firmus Maternus, Vettius Valens, Claudius Ptolemy. These are all 2,000-3,000 years old astrologers, right? The Babylonian, Chaldean, Persians. I've read all the Al-Biruni, all the Persian astrologers and all of those guys. They're all tropical. There's only one country that uses sidereal, and that's India, and that's because they're stupid, because they were conquered by the Jesuits with their global agenda. So what happens is sidereal now can only be associated with a globe, right? Whereas tropical astrology is geocentric. It always has been and it always will be. And there's no such thing as heliocentric astrology, and there's no such thing as a globe. Therefore, you cannot use sidereal astrology for anything. Yes, they do have accuracy, but that's the reason why is because the planets will be in the same houses. So if in tropical your sun is in the first house, it will be in sidereal as well, in the same house. The houses do not change. That's where they get their accuracy. So people think, oh, well, I got a reading from a sidereal astrologer, and he said my Mars is in the third house, and that's going to cause problems with my brothers and sisters, because it's squaring with Saturn in Cancer in the seventh house. Therefore, I'm going to have a month of trouble with my brothers, and lo and behold, that happens. That's because they're going by the houses. They're not going by the signs. They've got the wrong signs, totally. And I've done videos. I'll just show you 1 minute. I'll just show you.
He's on
Fucking
his shit, dude.
love him,
He's
dude.
going. He's going.
Yeah, he is.
You can get this book. Now, I do medical astrology. If you try medical astrology with sidereal, you'll kill people.
Oh.
Yeah, they'll die.
Whoa.
Because there's no such thing as medical astrology in sidereal. It's only tropical. And it's only perfectly accurate in tropical. Now, let's have a look at all the signs, shall we? Aries, Iron, Mars, angular energy. Taurus, copper energy, Venusian. Different look altogether. You can only do this in tropical. When I pick people's signs, even Indian people who are out and out siderealists, I say, you're Libra. You're a Libra, and I can see it. And they're like, no, I'm Virgo. Yeah, well, yeah, you're Libran, because I can see the features.
You're not, actually.
Right?
You're not.
So
I
if
just
you were
told
to get this, if you were to get this book and just study all the features and how to identify the signs, you will never go to sidereal astrology, because you'll get everything wrong. Everything. Look at the Geminis. Two-faced, skewed facial features. There's nothing symmetrical at all in their faces.
Damn.
Cancer. You can see the moon, the round heads, the moon energy, lunatics.
Robin Williams. Love it.
Look at the felines. Leo. You got jaguars. You got lions.
Whoa, that one was very.
You got
obvious.
the square. You got the square block heads. Whereas the Arians are long heads, like mine. Aries,
What?
long head. It's not a block. It's not a blockhead.
That one was creepy.
Virgo. You can't do this with sidereal. Libra. Look at the Libran. Perfect. Everything's horizontal eyebrows, vertical dimples, round, perfectly round heads. Libra.
It's in the skull shape, even.
Look at the Sirius, Scorpio, Mars, warlike, hawk-looking people. They look like hawks. They've all got beaks. Look at the beaks, the bird beak,
Oh yeah, you can't miss Owen Wilson right there. That bad boy.
right? Have a look at the happy Sagittarians ruled by Jupiter. Horse teeth, beautiful horse teeth, big dome heads. Anyone you see with a dome like that on their head, that's a Sagittarius, that's a horse. Capricorns, go back to Sirius. Look at the goats. If you can't see a goat here, guys, you need to change your glasses. If you can't see goats there, you're not looking.
Denzel is the GOAT. I agree with that.
Aquarius, big heads and all the eyes, nose, and everything. It's all in a small space.
Oh, dude, I do have a big head.
Saturn rules Aquarius. So everyone that's ruled by Saturn, their facial features are compacted. The Jupiterians, like Pisces and Sagittarius, the eyes are wide, like the fish eyes and like the horse eyes. They're at the side. You see their faces are more spread out wide.
All they got is peripheral, you know?
Pisces, if you can't see the dreamy fish here, you ain't looking.
Oh, you're not looking.
Steve Irwin. Yes.
It's tropical. It's
Soccer.
tropical rules everything. And rest assured, I've done thousands of medical astrology readings and picked whether the person has liver problems, kidney problems, eyesight problems, headaches, all the time. All the time.
Unreal. Coming with the receipts. It just makes a lot of sense now. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so if you study my presentations, especially on my channel where I have a whiteboard and I do the ecliptic all the time, always do the ecliptic. I'll just show you how I do. I'll just show you an example.
This is what I hoped it would be. Let's go.
Yeah, so we got the whiteboard, dude.
Yes.
So, for instance, let's turn that big TV screen off, and that will get the reflection on. Yeah, there you go. No, I'll have to turn this light on, I think. Hang on. Just bear with me.
You know he's old school, busting out the old whiteboard, dude.
Yes, dude.
That's better. Okay,
Yes.
so all is Atum, and ATUM is 1, 2, 3, 4, which equals 1. And so do all these words. DNA, Adam, Dan, man equals 1.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is red shift, blue shift, and the green heart chakra. So if your head was here, you would have a violet, indigo, blue throat chakra, green heart chakra, the core, the hyperbola. You can see the hourglass, the hyperbola. Can you see that?
Yep.
Right? That's in the middle. That's the inverse of the torus field. And the torus field is the inverse of the hyperbola. You can't talk about torus fields without talking about the hyperbola. So what I do always is the ecliptic, starting at the spring equinox, March 21st, up to the Tropic of Cancer, June 21st, down to September 23rd, the autumnal equinox, and then go down to the 21st of December, which is the winter solstice. And that makes the torus field, and that's the ecliptic, and that's the tropical system, and it will never change. And this is all is Atum. Everything you need to know is in this torus field. There are only 3 words: Tom, Atom, Tor, and Bol, B-O-L, for the hyperbola, this bol here. See that?
Mm-hmm.
B-O-L? Those are the 3 Trinity words of all other words. Everything comes from those words, everything. Every thought, every single thing in the universe, everything, bar none, comes from those 3 words. Atum, or Tom, Bull, and Tor.
Dude,
My God.
this is too much.
I love it. I love all of it. I love that you man, you've just been at it for so long and you're so sure. And I'm not even 100% sure that I get it, but I just trust you right now. And then I'm going to do a little bit more research so that way I don't have to rely on, your research. I can eventually get it myself.
Yeah, and you will, because I don't teach in a complicated way. I just teach in a very plain, simple way, and I show it. And there's nothing that I can say that is wrong, because the moment I say something that is wrong, the whole thesis, the whole thing collapses. Like a Swiss watchmaker. If he misses one little spring or cog or wheel or gear in his watch, it won't
Broken
work.
watch. Yeah.
So he can't stuff it up. You can't screw that up. What I did on that board there, all of that is perfect. It's 100% perfect. Because if one letter is out, or one number, or one fact is out, everything collapses and nothing collapses. It all comes back to the one, the torus field.
So
All is Atum.
does this apply to all physical reality or all existence that has ever existed?
Every single thought, every single mountain, river, stream, creation, timeline, everything is Atum. All is Atum. This is the Egyptian Bible, the Hermetica, right? That's if you read the Corpus Hermeticum, after every sentence, blah 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 blah, all is Atum. Next sentence, da 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 da, all is Atum. Why do they end every single sentence? It's ad nauseum with all is Atum. Why was that their maxim? Why was that their motif since thousands, that's it, that's the book, thousands and thousands of years? Why did the Greeks say everything is atoms? Why did the Hindus say that all is atom? Why here in Mexico, this little old lady here, why is she called originally Tonantzin? Ton. Didn't I just say that everything is aton? All is aton or atum or Adam. Even the Bible says everything comes from Adam. The father of all is Adam, because everything is atoms. We have an anatomy, for goodness sakes.
Wow.
And people
So
take it literally, like it's a bloodline?
I'm looking at you guys. All I'm seeing is atoms, because you are an anatomy. And you have a torso, which is a torus field. That's your torso.
Which it does make sense then that Christos would rise up the torus field then, rise up the torso like that. Because the torus field or the torso would essentially be the highway or the alley that the Christos travels through. Or am I crazy?
No, yeah. Christ is light, right? It's light, but it's light that is resting light. So it's the blue shift part. The red shift is Satan. See, they're both one and the same. It's the demiurge. Jesus is the devil. In other words, it is both good and evil. That's why when you look at pictures of Jesus of the Sacred Heart, well, you'll always see red shift, blue shift. It's always red and blue, and it's coming out of white. And see the black horns? The horns, those are the horns of the torus field. So it's showing you that black and white light produces the effect of red shift, blue shift, which centers in green. That's why when you go and get your cartridges, you ask for RGB, red, green, blue,
Mm-hmm.
because that's it. Those are
All you
the
need.
colors. That's the Trinity
Right.
colors of creation.
Yeah,
Oh,
this just reminds me of a Bible verse is Isaiah chapter 45 verse 7 where it's I believe it's God saying this. He goes, "I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I the Lord do all these things."
Yeah, that's Jesus. Yeah, it's Jesus is the devil.
Let's go. Yeah, it makes the most amount of sense, especially whenever you talk about red shift and blue shift. So blue shifting would be getting like kind of getting into your Christ.
Well, see, the blue part of redshift, blue shift is gravitation. The red part is radiation. Thank you, Walter Russell. Walter Russell said there's only two things happening in the universe: gravitation and radiation. Radiation is red color, gravitation is blue. So Schellberger, for instance, he said, why are we using hot redshift energy, electricity, to run our motors when I can make a motor that generates free energy on the implosive blue gravitational energy? It's 1 billion times more powerful than radiation.
and more efficient.
Yeah.
Wow.
Schellberger, Steinmetz, Tesla. Tesla said, I know of a wave that no other scientists have ever spoken about. Well, he was talking about the standing wave, the longitudinal wave. So we have two kinds of waves. Magnetism, which is pure white light, does not vibrate. There's no vibration in white light. There's no transverse component to it. But as soon as white light splits in the prism, all those colours that come out on the other side, they're all transverse waves, which means they have a decay factor built into them and that they are temporal. So when people say, oh yeah, this world is not real, well, it is, but it's temporal. So they should qualify what they're saying. It's not real because it's not. It's ephemeral, fleeting, and transient, but it is real, right?
Just temporary.
Yeah, it's temporary because of the decay factor. It's like when you're in town and you're listening to your favourite radio station, but you live 60 miles out of town, right? You're driving on the highway, you've got all your shopping, you're listening to your favourite radio station, and then all of a sudden it starts crackling because you're far away from the
From the source.
the radio station's antenna, and then eventually you don't hear anything. Because that's the transverse wave. It decays. That proves it. It shows that shows that the life of the wave only extends and then dies, like the life of a human being. Because this stuff you're looking at, it's all transverse waves. The only standing wave that is in my body is in my heart, because the heart pulses. So when you throw a stone into a pond, a still pond, you see the radial waves coming out. That's a longitudinal wave.
Right.
It grows bigger. There is no suffering. There is no corruption in the scalar, standing, whatever you want to call it, longitudinal wave. Matters not. It's the transverse wave which makes redshift, blue shift. And that's why we've got red pill, blue pill, red blood, blue blood, red siren, blue siren, red tap for hot, blue for cold, roses are red, violets are blue, Republicans are red, Democrats are blue. That's all about polarity.
Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah.
Oh.
Red and white, yin and yang. So there's only two yin and yangs. There's the black and white one and the subset, red and blue. So, for instance, if you look at the Korean flag, It's funny, the itch has gone away now, and it's I'm thankful, but there you go. There's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs,
There it is.
Oh man.
and that's the only other, the Korean flag and the Pepsi logo. So you see that? See those four symbols there?
Mm-hmm.
Earth, fire, air, and water. This is the demiurge. This is the devil, and this is Jesus. They're both both one and the same person.
One thing.
That's the scripture you quoted. I'm God, I am the one that gives you good and I give you evil. I've created all these things.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Oh, but no, but God is only good. No, the demiurge is not only good. He is good and evil.
Yeah, it almost
And
looks
so-
like I Ching, the bars
That's
there.
that's the
Oh,
I
it is?
Ching.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
So let me see if I can get this right. Fire would be, I think that's fire. That's earth, definitely, because it's 6. That's the only one that has 6. That has 3. That's 4, and that's, say, 5. So you've got 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Right. So what they're showing you is science. This is the science of transverse waves, electricity. This is a subset inferior to the black and white yin and yang.
Wow.
The black and white yin and yang stands on top of this. It is the monad. This is the dyad, the demiurge. This is the world of illusion. Dreams,
Maya.
Maya, everything, red and blue. Red shift, blue shift. Those two colors are responsible for everything hybrid in this world, the simulation.
Wow.
Because electricity, the electrical world, is a hybrid. Magnetism is not. It is a pure force. Electricity is not a pure force. Electricity is nothing without magnetism.
Dude, even those 3D glasses. Remember those when we were a kid, the red and blue?
Mm-hmm. He's gonna come back. I'm willing it.
Created this wonderful electrical grid which harms us and we have to pay for it.
Yeah. Seriously. It's
Electricity is your enemy. Electricity it's beautiful. It makes flowers and everything like that, but it all decays. It's all temporal. The electrical world is fleeting. It comes and goes. The magnetic world is always there and stable. It
Constant.
constant.
Well, so would you say that we are electromagnetic beings then, right? As humans. So what does that mean for, our spirit or our soul, our essence, whenever that it starts to expire? I'm sure you've thought a lot about this, and it's usually a driving factor for people who are trying to understand the nature of reality and themselves and everything. But what do you know to be true as far as the moment that we take our last breath? Like, what happens directly next?
Well, you go back to yourself. You go back to, the scriptures say you go back to God, but it's you. So you go back to yourself with all the lessons learned and all the improvements. If you haven't improved, then you will take that to the other side and you will have to have another experience in a place like this. Maybe somewhere else, or maybe here on the earth, or maybe way, 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 way beyond Antarctica, or who knows where we originally come from, because no one here of the humans are from this container, which supposedly only has 7 continents and what have you. We know there are like many, many, many more things that they're hiding. We know that. There's plenty of evidence on the internet. It's all It's a no-brainer. It's a done deal, done and dusted. So we know that there's lies everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. So I believe, I don't know, but I believe that our original homes are from beyond Antarctica.
You know, it's funny that reminds me of so we just did like like the esoteric overview of the Truman Show movie with Jim Carrey, and whenever he was a little kid, you know, because they're trying to keep him trapped on the island of Sea Haven, and his teacher asked him like, "What do you want to be whenever you get older?" And he goes, "I want to be an explorer." And the teacher goes, "Oh, they already explored it all. You can't do that." Just crazy. Yeah, man. So yeah, I've thought a lot about that as well, that you go back into yourself. It's the only thing that makes sense, you know? And as far as where you come back, if you have to come back, or if you choose to come back or anything, man, I think that like our dreams are kind of a window into that. I don't know if our dreams are memories of past lives or concurrent lives or what, but what are your thoughts on dreams? Do you think that they're kind of a window into some other place that we've explored at a past time, or is that happening now, you think? Or is it just the thoughts?
That's stuff you are doing in a spiritual place. That's why your body has to be sleeping and still and unconscious, right? Well, your heart's still beating, right? Your eyes are not looking or seeing, but all the vital organs are still going, which means your brain's still going. So what you're doing is you're just going through, the wall of your conditioned consciousness, and you're remembering or experiencing things on the what's it called, the different timelines that are stacked up on each other, right? So you just jump from here to here,
like planes of existence, you mean?
Yeah, it's not in the future, it's not in the past. It's always in the now. It's the only thing that exists. And in the end, if everything outside of you is destroyed, you'll find that whatever's left when everything is destroyed is you. You'll be the last thing standing. There will always be only you at the end. You will meet yourself at the end of everything. Always, you'll always be there. You never have not existed.
You get there and you're like, I knew it. Why did I doubt it for so long? Yeah. I was really in that illusion, you know?
Yeah.
Really buying it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So, and these are things that every single ancient school taught, because they wrote those things for when the change in consciousness would lower our consciousness, and we would become forgetful. But if we go back to the scriptures, we can remember that. We can remember that higher part of ourselves. That's why the scriptures are very important, especially all the ancient scriptures, whether it's the Quran or whether it's Bhagavad Gita, the Zendavesta. It matters not. They're all telling the same story. Regardless of which buffoon tries to tell you that they're from the devil and they're different to the Bible and what have you, regardless of that, we know not to listen to these fools. They're stuck in their own opinions.
Yeah,
these are opinionated people. They're not knowers.
Well, they're believers, and you can't spell belief without lie. So there's that.
Yeah. So that's it's unfortunate, but at the same time, you can rejoice that they're sleeping and you're not, because they're suffering in place of you. Why should you be upset that Larry Fink is or the Palantir guys or BlackRock or Vanguard have got all the money and, you know, they've got all the Ferraris and mansions and everything like that, when they're essentially they're living in a materialistic conditioned hell. They're conditioning themselves more and more, and they're going to that state probably forever on your behalf. So thank Larry Fink for being an asshole.
Thank you, Larry Fink.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Bill Gates, for being a demon.
Doing the Lord's work.
Because you're the one that's going to suffer the consequences, and I'm not. Thank you for doing all that bad shit and taking it off my shoulders.
Hey, you know, there's
Interesting way to look at it.
there's a way to love everybody and appreciate everybody, and that's one way of looking at it. So I appreciate that. You know, one thing that I kind of get hung up on, though. So if whenever we die, we go back into ourselves, what about everybody else? I mean, I know that everybody and everything is kind of just a projection of our reality. So let's say, you know, I don't know, me and Sean, you know, we appear to be obviously two different people, but it's all one thing. So whenever he dies and he goes back into himself, is he like a universe himself and I'm a separate universe, or he's a god and I'm a separate god, or it's all one thing just compressed in through different perspectives? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, here's the most important thing that you learn at the end of your initiation in Egypt or India or whatever in the past. The last thing you learn is that you are inconceivably God with difference. You cannot conceive that you are God, but you are with difference. So Sean, Sean and Jonathan, right? So you're two separated, spaced out individuals, but you are inconceivably God with difference. So you will always be connected to the source and the source, but with difference. That's the highest. Those 5 words are the highest teaching that you can ever master and learn and know.
You are blowing my mind right now. I love it. Santos, I honestly, I kind of wish that we could just keep you on here all night, because the itching seems to have gone away. Maybe we're just the cure for you. Just talk to us for the rest of your life. That sounds like fun. Maybe not for you, but for us.
It's a crazy thing how it just comes and goes. It's annoying, but if I had to pick a torture or a handicap or anything like that, I'd pick the itching. Because some people are in wheelchairs, some people are blind, some people are deaf, some people have got diabetes, lung cancer. I've never had a disease. I don't know what diseases are. I've never paid for health insurance. Geez, you've got to be an idiot to pay that. It sounds so expensive. Why? Why would you have health insurance? Just keep yourself healthy. Right? So if I get sick, I fix it. I do it. I don't go to a man or a woman or someone else. Yeah, they can help. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but you have the ability to heal yourself. It's a known thing since forever.
100% agree on that. Yeah, that's I definitely don't pay for no fucking health insurance. For one, it's too damn expensive, and for two, it doesn't even cover everything. You know what I mean? Like, if I get sick, I want, you know, I got health insurance. That should pay for it. But no, it's just like, well, you know, you get a discount. I'm like, no, that defeats the fucking purpose of it all to me. You know, but look, this has been such an amazing conversation. Everything that I hoped it would be. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us. It's such an honor. So, you know, we do want to say you are absolutely always welcome back here anytime you want. Reach out to us, and we would love to do it again sometime.
Can I finish with sharing an image with you about Atum?
Please.
Absolutely.
And then that'll do it. So I'm sending a request to share my screen.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right. So this is for all the viewers to screenshot. Because once you master this, ain't nobody going to fool you ever again.
Did you share it yet?
Yeah, I'm sharing. You can't see it?
Oh, I don't see it.
All right, let's go again.
Oh, there we go. All right.
All right, that's for people to screen share. Let's get rid of that. There you go.
The Ein Sof. Okay. So this is the Kabbalistic tree.
Well, have a look at this. The primordial atom. Okay? Or monad. Adam. You see the word Adam there? Atom, Adam. They're same thing. Right? So Ein Sof means the unlimited God, the boundless. This is the boundless ether. And then there's the first atom, the first logos. And then what happens is here, this white light, it fractures into seven, the seven suns, the Fohat, which means the force. So this is the source up here, and this is the force. And then they have 49, it's called the 49 fires, which is 7 times 7, right? And then it shows descent of spirit into matter, all things from one. If you remember that all things are interconnected and all things are one, you'll be the happiest person in any circumstance you find yourself. So please screenshot this and meditate on it. It's probably the best thing I can share with you.
Perfect. Thank you. Man, that makes so much sense. All things from one, the descent of spirit to matter, into matter. Wow. It just checks so many boxes to me. You know, we recently had one of our best friends just die about a month or so ago, and actually I think it's a month today. Died, and his name was Optimistic Banks, and this is the core thing that he always came and tried to talk to us about was, you know, just oneness and how to be able to integrate that into your life, into every moment of your life. And it's definitely helped us understand the nature of this reality, nature of ourselves a lot more. And you're kind of just hammering that home, so I appreciate that.
Oh, dude, it absolutely makes everything feel so much better. You know what I mean? Like, obstacles aren't really obstacles. You look at them and you're like, oh, okay. Like, if someone's treating you like shit or whatever, oh, that's just another version of myself that's kind of having a bad go at it right now. You know what I mean? It just gives you more of that empathy and just patience with gods, with difference, right?
Yeah, just observe, don't judge. As soon as you make a judgment, you put an obstacle in your path and you restrict your mind. It doesn't expand. Just watch, just observe, pay attention. You don't have to be a genius to do syncretism. You don't have to be a genius at all for anything at all, whatsoever, at all. All you have to do is pay attention.
Absolutely. Dude, this has been awesome, dude. I really appreciate you coming in and teaching us all this stuff, man, because, you know, some of it we knew, most of it we didn't, man. And I just really appreciate that you took the time to teach us all that, man. That's great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Great hanging out with you. We can do it again. So I know there's going to be a lot of people once, so I can have a copy of this for my channel, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, great. Yeah, a lot of people will see it and say, hey, I've been lining up for years to get an interview with you. Please don't do that to me, anyone that's out there that's been trying to interview me, because this is the only time in 15 years of being a syncretist that I've actually been accepted an interview whilst itching, because I don't want to show that to the world. I don't want to.
That, man.
I don't want to show that part of myself. Everyone's suffering. Everyone has their own things, right? I've always kept that apart. Yes, I've made 3 or 4 videos. They're on my channel. You can see it. Just Go to Mr. Astrotheology and put the word itch, and you'll see how I itch and what it does to me. It makes me convulse. In fact, at the start of the show, you would have seen me doing this a lot. I was doing this. My head was, it's convulsions.
Wow.
So,
Well,
but that's not happening anymore.
well,
It's just mild itching now.
we
So
appreciate that, man. I mean,
this is the only interview I've ever done, and I don't want to do it again. So all those people that I've told, in fact, you approached me 3 or 4 months ago, and I said, look, let's wait till the new year, because, and luckily, because if we had done this a month ago, and bedridden.
Mm-hmm. Dude, well, I really appreciate you taking the time, man. I really do. It means a lot.
It's not that I don't want to do interviews. It's just that I've had to cancel so many because the itch just turns up because of the anxiety and the stress of having to do an interview and what have you, and getting prepared or whatever. And then I blow it, and then they get upset because I cancelled. I have to, because I don't want to be doing this while I'm talking to people. It's just put people off. It's going to distract them from what I'm saying, because they're looking at me scratching myself like a monkey, and it's not a good look.
Well, you did great tonight, and it was awesome, being able to just sit here and absorb everything that you got to say. And if anybody has any problem with your damn itching, they're not worth your time anyway. So I wouldn't even worry about being judged or people looking at you any kind of weird way because of it. Everybody has their shit that they got to work through, and I don't care about that at all. I'm just here to learn from you.
Yeah, thanks, brother. I appreciate you guys being open-minded and relaxed and chilled, and
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, look, for anybody that hasn't heard of you, which I can't imagine anybody listening to our show has never heard of you, but where can they find your channel and everything like that, sir?
So on YouTube, it's called Mr. Astrotheology, and please go to the one that's got 300,000 subscribers, not the one that's got 13,000, because that guy, when they took my channel down 2 years ago, I got it back. But the day they took my channel down, I had over 300,000 subscribers. This guy turns up with Mr. Astrotheology. So people are going there, and they're thinking that my big channel's gone. No, it's there. Mr. Astrotheology with 300,000 subscribers is there, but I'm teaching on School and Patreon. Patreon's free. You can join my Patreon, Mr. Astrotheology, and every Tuesday I do a 2-hour lecture. In fact, the board that you just saw, that was the lecture that I did yesterday. Tomorrow I'll be doing School, but School is paid. It's $9 a month, because on School I won't get censored like I do on Patreon or every other platform. School is completely private. I can say whatever I want. In fact, I've got guests there that have taught how to get out of the straw man name, and how to make a trust, and how to get the hell out of this system before digital ID comes. So if you want to join my School, you go back to Tanya's, it was about 2 months ago, a lady called Tanya's video. She'll teach you exactly how to get out of the cartoon Mr. Santos Bonacci name, and just get the hell out of paying taxes, get the hell out of jobs, and be wealthy. And I can't do that on public platforms. In fact, 2 years ago, I decided I'm not going to do astrotheology for the public. I'm just going to do it on Patreon and on School, privately. It's not for the world.
No.
I can do other things for the world. I can teach about other things, but when it comes to the science, sacred science of astrology and stuff like that, I'm doing it all in the private, and it's free. You don't have to pay for it. Patreon's free.
Hey, look,
That's
man,
great, dude.
that's why it's not for the masses, and I believe personally that's why mystery schools and secret societies and all that stuff were formed in the first place, was because the masses you know, it's not for everybody. And not to say that anybody here is more special than anybody else, but you know, we take to truth, I guess, more so than a lot of other people. So that's why you're here.
Mind, dude. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, well, it's special knowledge, and I want to give it to special people who are serious and devoted and will find where I am. The people who haven't found where I am is probably people who are distracted and don't
They're any illusion.
need it right now, but
Right.
eventually they will. Eventually syncretism will be the only system in the universe. As it was called the perennial philosophy. It still is, perennial meaning forever. And another way of calling it is syncretism. And it will absolutely make redundant Judaism, Christianity, and everything. They can still exist, but they will be called syncretism, because Judaism is exclusive. Christianity is exclusive. If you're not a Jehovah's Witness, you're going to hell. Islam is exclusive. Hindus are exclusive. Syncretism is not. It's the only inclusive, all-inclusive system that exists because it exists.
It's eclectic.
Right on.
I like it.
That's right.
Yes, yes. Well, look, every single episode we do a single tarot card pull, and Sean usually pulls them, and that's what we're going to end it on. We're going to end it on a bang. So, Sean, what card was that, sir?
We got the Six of Cups.
All right.
And if you see the red and blue, I don't know, that was just one thing that I noticed just right off the bat, you know?
Oh,
Yeah,
how
that's a
about
good one.
that?
That's a good one, that one.
All right. So we like to read from this book just for the synchronicities and whatnot. But the Six of Cups, a loving exchange of support and care, feels like home. After a period of grief or hardship, you've crossed the bridge into the harmonious energy of the Six of Cups card. A young boy and girl dressed up like storybook characters appear to be playing in the main square of a sunny yellow town. The boy hands a cup with a white flower to the little girl. The two are surrounded by white flower-filled cups, symbolic of innocence. The children, their silly costumes, and the mood of playful innocence all evoke childhood memories and a desire to spend time where you grew up. There is a figure in the background carrying a spear who seems to protect the children while they play. They are safe and free of worry. Wow. That actually reminds me a lot of, dude, talking about whenever you die, you go back into yourself. That's going back home. You know, that's kind of what it reminds me of. I don't know if anybody else thought that, but
Absolutely.
crazy.
Well, every cup is only one half of the hyperbola. There you go. The holy chalice, the holy grail,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's the hyperbola.
Oh, it is.
Everything is the hyperbola. Everything. Atoms are hyperbolas. The sun is a hyperbola. It's a portal, a wormhole. When you look at it, you can see through it, and you have to go through it to get back to cause. That's why Jesus says, no one goes back to the Father except through me, and that's the sun. The moon, on the other hand, reincarnates us back into the loop. The sun is the savior. The sun is the savior. The moon is not the savior. The moon is the portal for demons to come back in here. That's why we have deities of the moon, demons. That's why we have monstars, moon stars, monsters, monkeys. People are monkeys. The moon is the monitor, the moon Taurus,
Oh, man.
monitoring us. The moon is not, this is poetic speak, it's not literal. The moon is not your friend, the sun is. The sun is the savior.
All right, well,
You will go through the sun one day, like you went through your mother's womb, portal, vagina.
Matrix.
Yep, you go back through the sun. You will. You'll see. You're going through that wormhole, and it's cold. It's not hot.
Wow.
Let's go. You are the man. I can't believe we're even having this conversation. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us. We're going to put all your links down in the show notes below for anybody who wants to be able to go and follow you over there. And we'll definitely send you the link of everything. We definitely appreciate you sharing it on your channel as well. So, Sean, any final words for you, sir?
Oh, dude. Oh, dude, this was just awesome, dude. Like I said before, it doesn't even make sense that we were able to make this happen, but I'm glad we did, man. And I'm glad that you took the time to break it down for us. You know what I mean? Because we're still babies when it comes to all this. We're really trying to understand it and figure it all out. So I really appreciate you took the time. Thanks, man.
Yes. Well, look, if you want to be a part of this conversation next week and every other Wednesday after that, come over to patreon.com/metamystics. That link is down in the show notes below. You can sign up for the Wonder Wednesday tier. That'll give you access to come and hang out every Wednesday live for the shows, whether we have a guest or just a cool topic. Usually we have amazing guests, and this was one of the most amazing guests we've ever had, so it's been amazing. So come and check out Patreon. But look, we're gonna get over to that meditation. We have one more thing that we want to say, though. If Santos Bonacci came here and he taught you anything, it's that you don't know what you don't know. So don't just get weird,
stay weird.
Imagine what would have happened if we hadn't attracted the magic we had back when we couldn't fathom. Life is a fantasy, not with the vanity, not the way it was back then. So I grab my pen and write it down like a scripture. Mr. Mystic, making hits for the misfits. The show where you don't know what you don't know when it's on again with Sean and Jonathan. Yeah.